Well, to help us weed through the congressional priorities, we are joined by veteran political reporter, editor, and congressional correspondent Michael McAuliff. Michael, welcome to the broadcast. We've got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, a whole bunch.
The federal government runs out of money on September 30th. Lawmakers could approve a new spending bill or a stopgap measure, but that stopgap measure could be tied to this new wall the president wants to build, obviously. Which one, at this point today, is more likely?
Well, I think the most likely scenario is a very simple stopgap spending measure. The president wants to tie to the wall to a number of things, and you'll probably mention some as we go along, but that is a poison pill for a lot of Democrats, and it would threaten to throw a huge monkey wrench in the works for keeping the government open, and we saw the consequences the last time they went down that path. Nobody really wants to go there. The Republican leaders have said they will not go there, so I'm banking on a short-term measure.
Okay, DACA, we've been talking a lot about this. The president has says we will resolve this issue with heart and compassion, but through the lawful democratic process. How big of a priority is this for Congress, and what kind of financial impact? We hear big numbers, millions and millions of dollars will this have on the U.S. workforce over the next 10 years, and what's the flip side of not doing anything about it?
Well, the President Trump made it a giant priority for Congress, but if you want to sort of get a little window into how difficult things can be in Congress, this bill, or a bill that would do something similar to DACA, has been proposed for 17 years, and it passed the Senate as part of a comprehensive immigration reform, but it could not get through the House, even though a majority of the legislature supported it, because a majority of Republicans did not support it. And that's still pretty much where we stand today. They could try to pass something. They can pass it in the Senate. When they get over to the House, the chances get much less certain and it gets much more difficult. So then you're left in that situation where you do have, over this 2-year phase out that they're talking about, 800,000 people who have no idea what their status is going to be in this country. And what does that do? You've mentioned some of the economic fallout, and that's real.
So he's essentially throwing the political football, trying to make good on a promise.
Yeah, I think somebody called this a punt, which he sort of did with the health care bill as well.
All right. So the Harvey relief, we're talking right now approximately $7.8 billion, they were saying on Friday, to be used as a vehicle to get members to raise the debt ceiling. And is this necessary? Is this the way to go?
Well, the number 2 Republican in the Senate today said they would do that. They would attach the debt limit to the Harvey relief aid, because nobody wants to deny the folks in Houston and Louisiana the help that they really need. And at the same time, nobody likes to raise the debt limit, even though Congress has that responsibility. They pass the spending, they also have to pass the debt limit.
Right, and is this the only way at this point you think politically a feasible road to getting there is to attach Harvey to it?
It's probably not the only feasible way to get there, but it'll make it a lot easier for some of these conservatives in Texas and Louisiana and Alabama and Florida to vote for it and say, because I got to help my people.
So renewing the National Flood Insurance Program, we can't forget that, huge priority, along with children's health care and the effort to revive and replace the Affordable Care Act that, you know, has not been able to get through.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like all of these things can actually happen, does it? But they have to. The Children's Health Insurance Program is enormously popular. It's supported on both sides of the aisle, and the only thing that could possibly derail that is this crazy schedule that they have, or if someone wants to try and stick some poison pill into the Children's Health Insurance Program, which could happen.
Tax reform, a fiscal budget has to be in place before this can even be considered. Will they settle for tax reform or push for a cut? And what should multinational companies be looking for at this point, Michael?
Well, you know, that is such a complicated, convoluted process. It's more complicated than the health care bill that they just failed at. They don't have a budget. In order to do that same process, they need to pass a budget. Otherwise, you have the crazy U.S. Senate where you need 60 votes to pass anything. So Trump had his event today, and they said we'll be working on it in the committees and things like that. And I think if you're a company looking for Congress to actually do something, look and see what comes out of the Ways and Means Committee in the House, and look and see what comes out of the Finance Committee in the Senate, and see if there's any hint of bipartisanship. See if there's any hint that some Democrats will get on board. And they have said that they want to. So look carefully for those signs of bipartisanship and a little bit of warmth maybe between Paul Ryan, Mitch McConnell, and their Democratic counterparts. Then maybe you'll see some slight chance, but I don't give it very high odds.
A lot to do for sure,
Yeah,
and time is ticking.